Hi, thank you for taking my call. Yes, I was just wanting to know, I know that God created everything, all the animals, and does the Bible ever mention about dinosaurs and where they came from and perhaps what their purpose was?
Well, not as far as their purpose goes, but we do find some unusual creatures mentioned in the book of Job. The giant behemoths that move their tail like the cedar of Lebanon. We don't really have any animals like that, but it would describe a dinosaur. Now, I believe personally that probably Noah put the baby dinosaurs on the ark, but in the new environment, the new climate, the new oxygen nitrogen mixture after the flood, they just couldn't survive. They know that there was something different before a long time ago because the nose holes on some of these dinosaurs, very long necks, really small nose holes, far too small for a mammal to be able to do the oxygen carbon dioxide exchange in the lungs. So they believed that there was a different composition before the flood versus after the flood. There are footprints, fossils, where a dinosaur walked as well as human footprints made at the same time. This really destroys the evolutionary chain. In fact, somebody said they actually destroyed some of those fossils in Texas because it so reversed so much of the evolutionary ideas, destroy the evidence. And so crazy stuff. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think we get that information out of Job chapter 40 a couple of times. I think in verse 1 it mentions giant sea creatures and mentions Leviathan. Nobody's seen one of those lately, even though there's lots of reports out there. Maybe it's Nelly over there in Scotland. But again, in verse 15 of Job 40, that's where we get Behemoth mentioned. And to answer your question, why did God create him? I think he was just showing off. He's pretty good at that kind of stuff. Look at the universe sometime. He's just showing off his magnificence and his glory and his omnipotence to be able to create anything. Mike?
So I hope that sheds a little light on it for you.
Yes, thank you so much.
And I believe that they just couldn't survive in the new world after the flood. So, I think that when we see what the world was versus what it is now, look at some of the sea creatures that were so enormously large. So we know the world has went through some amazing changes. Now, here's something to think about. When you look at, according to the Bible, saying the earth is about 6,000 years old, and that's what I believe it is. I don't believe that there was another world before Adam and Eve, because the Bible says that Eve was the mother of all living, speaking of human beings and all. Sin entered the world through Adam. Before Adam sinned, there was no sin in the world. God created the heavens and the earth. He saw that it was very good. There's no indication that it was recreated. And these are some of the problems that a lot of times people get into. You can't prove that, but you can prove that according to what the Bible says, the earth is about 6,000 years old. When you look at the cataclysmic things this earth has gone through, probably most likely during the flood, when you read in Revelation where every mountain and island moves out of its place and then eventually all the islands are completely gone, what they're attributing billions of years to, the Bible says happened in thousands of years. And when we look at this and thinking, oh, those mountains took billions of years to be heaved up like that, the Bible says in Revelation there's going to be giant tectonic plate movement and earthquakes like never before, and every mountain and island moves out of its place. That is major, friends. That is something, it is so terrifying that at the end of chapter 6, the people of the earth cry out to the rocks and the mountains, cover us, for the wrath of the Lamb is come. Instead of calling out to God, they're calling out to Mother Earth, which ain't going to do them any good. But that's how cataclysmically changing the world will be. Now, again, we realize the western coast of the United States in particular is in for a major correction. Not a 9.0 earthquake or an 8.0, probably a 15.0. They think that it's very possible that the San Joaquin Valley in California could be an inland ocean when this happens. When you realize the Bible says this is what's going to happen in the last days, and it's not going to take billions and billions of years, but it's going to happen in a matter of days and weeks. What's going to happen to this earth? This world is not prepared for the days ahead during the tribulation period. So that's one of the things I think is really important, because we get in this mindset that everything has been here for billions of years. I believe God created the earth fully mature. When the very first miracle Jesus did here on this earth is he took something new, water, turned it into wine, and made it appear to be old. Now, that's interesting. The very first miracle Jesus did was take something fresh and make it appear to be aged, fermented, because even the guest said, "You've saved the best wine for last." As I look at that, I realize a couple of things. When we understand more clearly what the Bible says, it's more clear to believe what the Bible says than lightning hit a swamp a billion years ago and here we all are today. Hope that helps.